Hey everyone, welcome back to Hollow Knight. This has been an interesting experiment for me. I feel like I've spent 10 times as much time editing the videos as I have actually playing the game. I've noticed when I'm editing the videos that my noise suppression is pretty aggressive, and I had it set very high because it was annoying me when I was testing and the gamepad buttons were clicking in the background as I was talking. And the only way I could find to get rid of that was to actually set the noise suppression to the max. But unfortunately, it tends to cut off the beginning of what I'm saying quite frequently. I tried playing around with the settings, but I couldn't really find anything that I was satisfied with, so I'm going to just try and be more deliberate about speaking clearly into the microphone and developing those skills. So with that, I want to start this episode off by checking out the lore graph. Alright, so I didn't update the lore graph after episode 2, so since you've seen the lore graph last, there's been quite a few additions here, and I have a feeling this is going to get pretty filled by the time this playthrough is done. But as I've played around with it, I am actually liking it quite a bit so far. It's just really cool to go through this and just see how things are kind of mapped out and where everything is, and it helps me remember where things are. So as you can see up at the top, I've added quite a few different categories to it. So we've got locations, sub-areas, characters, lore, spells, items, charms, map markers, and bosses. And I want to do a quick review of what I learned in the past 2 episodes. So to start out, I want to go to King's Pass. In the second episode, I had called this the introduction area because I didn't know what the name was. Well, once I got the map from Cornifer and I checked it out, I noticed that, hey, this area is actually called King's Pass, so I've updated the label here in the lore map for King's Pass. And then something else that I noticed was from Iselda, she was selling map markers, and one of those was the cocoon pin, and that talked about blue cocoons. And I think that's referring to plasmium. So I ended up updating the plasmium from King's Pass to be blue cocoon number 1, to be more, I guess, game accurate. Moving on from King's Pass, so you can see it's connected to Dirtmouth, the fading town. And last time, I ended up meeting the NPC Iselda in Dirtmouth, and now Iselda is the wife of Cornifer, and she runs their map shop. And I ended up buying the quill and various map markers from her. Now, Cornifer is her husband, and he is an explorer. He's the explorer who sold me the map, and I met him in the Forgotten Crossroads. And then, speaking of Forgotten Crossroads, that was the area that I explored the last 2 episodes, and there were 2 sub-areas that I found in it. The first sub-area was the Temple of the Black Egg, and this is like the biggest mystery so far in the game. What exactly is the Black Egg? Why does it have 3 masks on it? Inside the temple, I met an NPC named Quirrel. He seems to also be an explorer, but he seems less nerdy than Cornifer is. He has a nail, and he looks like he can fight and hold his own. He was very interested in the mystery of the Black Egg. He said that the egg was made of stone and that it was warm. Now, why that is, I don't know. Hopefully we'll learn more about that later in the game. When I was editing the video, I noticed that the flat face on the top of his body was actually a mask, not his head. When I first encountered him, I made a comment that he had a flat head, but I didn't realize that was actually his mask. His head is fairly normal looking, it was just facing away toward the egg. And then I noticed the mask on his head actually matches one of the masks on the door to the temple of the Black Egg. The mask that has 2 eyes. And then, of course, the other 2 masks, one has 6 eyes, and then one only has 1 eye. So, back to the Forgotten Crossroads. We met a few other NPCs. One was... I'm gonna call him Grub Daddy. He might go on Shark Tank. But I don't know his name. I wasn't able to talk to him unless I just missed something. But when I first encountered him, he was crying, and then I ended up finding grubs along the way in Forgotten Crossroads as I was exploring, and then freeing them from their glass jars. And then when I went back to Grub Daddy, he rewarded me with some Geo. Another NPC I met was Mila. Now, this was an NPC who was in a mine, and she was singing. And when I encountered her, I stupidly forgot to read her name. But I saw it when I was editing. And one thing I noticed with Mila was that, and I recorded it here in the lore graph, one of the songs she started singing, but she couldn't remember the rest of the words to it. But the song actually sounded important, and you can see it mentions burying a knight with her broken nail, and then burying a priest, and something about a crown. So I'm kind of wondering, is the knight with the broken nail Hollow Knight? And who is the priest? So I'm going to have to keep an eye out for this and not forget it. Another character we met in Forgotten Crossroads was Sly the Fly, and he was an NPC I ran into after I beat this boss Gruz's mother. And Sly, he seemed to be in some kind of delirium, like he was poisoned. He had an orange VFX around his head, and I think I noticed that orange tends to represent damage in this game, I think. So that was interesting, but I kind of aroused him from whatever delirium he was in, and he thanked us for rescuing him, and then he said he was going to be back in Dirtmouth. So I'm going to have to go check him out when I am in Dirtmouth. Now, I just mentioned the boss, Gruz's mother, but there was another main boss in Forgotten Crossroads, and that, of course, was the False Knight. And False Knight's not too hard. Beat him on the first try. He looked like he was actually some kind of white slug with a big head, and he was... I guess he was a False Knight because he's maybe not actually a knight. He was just the squishy white slug wearing an oversized suit of armor. And then I didn't notice this during the game, but the round shell bug that was walking around after the battle, and I ended up attacking it and it walked off. Well, that bug actually came from his mace. So I don't know if that bug was supposed to be friendly or if this was just a cute little interaction that they added. I'm hoping that bug will come back around and I didn't ruin anything by hitting it. And then the second sub-area that I found in Forgotten Crossroads was after defeating False Knight, and that was Ancestral Mound. And now this was a very interesting sub-area because the NPC Snail Shaman is in it. And I don't trust Snail Shaman. He tricked us into killing a bug for him, like kind of cleaning house. But he did give us the Vengeful Spirit spell. And while I was doing his quest, I found the charm Soul Catcher. And that actually seems like a very useful charm, and I ended up equipping that. But Soul Catcher is a charm that's used by shamans to draw more soul from the world around them. And that covers everything that is new in the lore graph since the last time I showed it. And with that, I want to get back to the game. I think I'm going to check out Dirtmouth and then probably go to the green area that Elderbug was talking about. That is to the left of Forgotten Crossroads. Oh, it looks like this shop is open. Is this where Sly is? It is. Hey, Sly. Ah, hello. I knew we'd meet again. How do you like my cozy little store? I've made myself pretty comfortable here, selling old trinkets to travelers like yourself. If you're planning a trip below, I've several items that may improve your chance of survival. Oh. Oh, a mask shard. Nice. This old thing? Merely a fragment of something larger. Still, maybe you can make some use of it. Vessel fragment. A piece of a soul vessel. You know, those ghastly-looking orb things? I don't really like the aura about it, but it's quite rare, so I'll have to charge you a high price. Simple key. Simply a simple key. It will fit a variety of locks, which is useful if you like to poke around in places where you don't belong. Now, maybe I can use that, actually, all the way to the right in Dirtmouth. A charm. Gathering Swarm costs 1 notch. Do you find yourself leaving a lot of geo behind as you hurry through the caverns? This charm will make sure that any loose change finds its way back to you. So, does that extend a radius that draws geo to me? That might be useful. Stalwart Shell costs 2 notches. Life in Hallownest can be pretty tough, always taking hits and getting knocked around. This charm grants you more time to recover after taking damage. Useful if you need to escape a tight spot. Oh yeah. That sounds cool, actually. Lumafly Lantern. What's more important? A light to guide your way, or a friend who'll stay by your side? Why not both? Take this bright little fellow as your companion, and he'll light your way through the thickest darkness. Okay, wow, that's very expensive, 1800 geo. And the last item, the Rancid Egg. I found this under the counter. Some creature must have laid it here while I was stuck down in the ruins. I suppose you could buy it. I won't miss its sour odor. Okay. Interesting. Well, I think I can just save my geo and buy this mask shard once I have... I'm guessing it's 4 mask shards give me an extra mask. Okay, well, I don't think I'm going to buy anything right now. Actually, you know what? I'm changing my mind. I'm just going to buy the mask shard. You know, in case I lose my geo, or in case I find 3 more, then I'll get the mask right away. Thanks, Sly. You say anything different? Oh, what a turn. Our shopkeep's come home. Just wandered back in. I'd hoped for grand tales of his time below, but he seems to remember almost nothing. Maybe it was all too much for him. If you're interested in his wares, watch out. He drives a hard bargain, that one. No competition, that's the problem. It's bad for the market. Not that he's complaining. Yeah, I agree. No monopolies. I'm all for the free market, but monopolies, not so good. Oh, this is the Stagway. Let's go check out Iselda. Hi, Iselda.
Bapanada.
Okay, you don't have anything new. Bafanada. You sound really bored. That's right. I think when I first talked to her, she said that Cornifer didn't come back to the shop very often, and she doesn't like running the shop. And she's hoping that he will take her to the hot springs. Yeah, dude, you better come back. She might, she might start looking around, Her antenna might feel around for someone to take her to the hot springs, if you know what I mean. Let's head over to green area. That's right. One more thing I wanted to do was mark my map. I did not do that. I think there were a few places that I wanted to mark. The one was right there at the top of that shaft. How do I place a marker? What marker should I use? Well, I guess that's as good as any. Yeah, so I think once I get wall jump, I might be able to go up there and see a secret. And where else did I want to mark? Yeah, so I think there was a hallway somewhere with a grub in Forgotten Crossroads. I think it was right there. And I was trying to pogo to get over to it. Let me just make sure that's where that grub is. Yeah, this is it. Okay. And then the other place I wanted to mark was the False Knight Arena. That's what it was. I think there was something there I couldn't get to. Okay. And I'm actually going to change this marker to a different color just because it's a grub. So for now, these blue markers mean an area that you can't access yet. And then the red marker means a grub. See, this is why I want more markers for these games. Grab the ledge. You're no Hornet, I guess. Oh, that's Grub Daddy. Didn't have to climb up there. Here's the green area. Pilgrim's Way. Travelers of Hallownest descend through verdant wilds and fungal groves to the city at this kingdom's heart. There, all wishes shall be granted, all truths revealed. Pilgrim's Way. But there were lots of pilgrims in Silksong. Verdant. That means green. Oh, another one of you guys. Trying to top off here. Don't mind me. Well, you get lots of geo. Can I go down anywhere here? Ah. Am I gonna start to hear bugs, crickets, and things? Yeah. Oh, Greenpath. I remember that name now. Greenpath. Okay. Let's be a little more careful. Wow, I got sent back pretty far. Ouch. You're funny. You're like the Zeds from One Fish, Two Fish, Red Fish, Blue Fish. These little things are called the Zeds. They have one hair upon their heads. Their hair grows fast, so fast they say they need a haircut every day. But this area is noticeably more treacherous in terms of platforming than Forgotten Crossroads. Oh, you got me. Kill those? Yes. Nice. Not fast enough to get those birds. It says verticality. Yeah, that was probably just a waste. I could go up, or I could go to the left. So we'll head left. Hey there. I know you. Hornet, help me. Well, she's up. Or is it? Unclear. Maybe not. Oh. So yeah, so this area right here where the puddles were must be next to Greenpath. Yeah, okay. That would make sense. And then I think I met Mila somewhere over here, and she was in a mine, so she must have been right next to another area over here, like a mine area. I keep inadvertently moving my left thumb to the analog stick, but I want to be on the D-pad. I mean, D-pad is the only real way to control 2D platforming games. Can you swim in this game? Yeah, I guess not. Hornet could swim. Oh, I probably could have dropped that on him. That sounds like Cornifer and their little paper map fragments. Oh. A grub. Okay, before I go that way, which when I go back this... Oh, that goes down. Okay. But there was a lower route. I wonder if I can smash him with this. Come on. Come on. That's right. Alright, Cornifer. Grub. Say hi to Grub Daddy. There you are. Isn't this a contrast from the crossroads? Such a humid, lively place. The roads twist and turn in the most wonderful ways. I've done my best to chart the area ahead, though I must admit some of the area's inhabitants proved quite a nuisance. Purchase a map of the area? Of course. I ran into another traveler as I made my way down here. Yeah, so did I. I tried to call out to her as she dashed past, but she barely even glanced in my direction. Not an appreciator of maps like you and I, obviously. Greenpath. There was a bench. Up. Okay. Well, maybe I should go hit that bench. And then probably head left. And if that's a dead end, circle around, back down. Oh good, the double tap trick works. Where you can go immediately to the detailed view. Okay. Updated. 231 Geo. Not sure I can buy anything, so let's press onward. And yeah, I cannot go left here, so we do have to circle back around. Well, at least it's faster getting back down. The shell rock right there. Oh, you can bust it. Just kind of like played baseball with that guy. I wonder if you can hit those guys into other enemies. That'd be neat. Oh, they did not explode. I thought I shot one of them with Vengeful Spirit before, and he still exploded. Alright, okay, let's head right. This looks dangerous. The maws of a beast. That's boss. Music. Weaver? East Wib, you approach. Fearless. You are a hunter like me? Do you feel the urge inside to stalk, to kill, to understand? Then take it. My journal. It will aid you. At first, the text may seem difficult to discern, but a learned hunter will come to understand its words. Okay, this is the bestiary? Venture the depths of this land and slay its beasts. Prove yourself worthy to bear the mark of a hunter. Taken the Hunter's Journal. Open the menu, then navigate to the Journal pane. Defeat enemies to add new entries to the journal and decipher the Hunter's notes. Journal. Oh wow, there are a lot of creatures. I'm not entirely sure I'm going to read through all of them. Maybe. Well, I guess I haven't even unlocked all of them. Only this one. Crawlid, timid scavenger that crawls through the caverns looking for food. Dull and pathetic, hardly worth killing. Ain't that right? Vengefly, flying predator that pursues its prey relentlessly. Gruzzer, simple-minded creature that haphazardly buzzes around, bumping into things. Gruz mother. Tick-tick. Gruzmother. Mature gruzzer that carries its young in its belly, attacks by hurling its huge body around. Tick-tick. Uses its small, sharp claws to climb along walls and roofs. Aspid hunter. Bests its prey by spitting corrosive liquid, often hunting in packs. Aspid mother. Carries the eggs of its young inside its belly, can hatch and birth its young as needed to deal with intruders. Aspid hatchling, recently birthed. These young aspid instinctively swarm around intruders. Wandering husk, the remains of a bug, animated by a strange force, wanders the roads where it once lived. Okay, so that's interesting. He's got yellow, glowy eyes, and I don't think any other bugs have... Sorry, I said yellow, glowy eyes, I mean orange. And orange seems to be a bad color in this game. Like, things that damage you are orange, and Sly had the orange effect around him. Animated by a strange force. Yeah, so lore-wise, what is animating these husks? Husk Hornhead. The remains of a bug animated by a strange force, uses its horn to attack any uninfected creature it finds. Leaping Husk. It will instinctively leap at uninfected creatures to attack them, aka Mario Husk. Husk Bully. The remains of a bug animated by a strange force. It aggressively attacks any uninfected creature it finds. Husk Warrior. Wields a nail and shell. Husk Guard. The remains of a great Hollow Nest crossguard, animated by a strange force. Instinct still drives it to guard its post against intruders. False Knight. A maggot driven mad by a strange force, inhabits a stolen armored shell. Okay, so it was a maggot. Weak creatures love to steal the strength of others. Their lives are brief and fearful, and yet they learn to have the power to dominate those who have dominated them. And there's some kind of ladybug seeming thing at the end of its mace. Balder rolls into a ball and propels itself at intruders who wander into its territory, aggressive even when newly born. Elder Balder, bulky and covered in thick plating, retracts into itself when attacked. As they age, these creatures become too heavy and lumpy to roll around freely. Instead, they curl up and hide from the world. What do they think of in there, wrapped up inside of themselves? More carefree times, perhaps? Moss creep. Okay, now we're getting into Greenpath. Weakling that covers itself in leaves to appear larger, hides amongst the undergrowth. Mosskin. Plant-like bug that charges at foes when close. Volatile mosskin. Plant-like bug swollen with infection, releases deadly gas when threatened. Yeah, again, infection, the orange color. Wool eater. Carnivorous plant that snaps at any creature that comes close. Squit. Charges at prey with its needle-like proboscis. Maskfly. Harmless flying creature that favors serene environments, usually travels in flocks. Shade. Echo of a previous life. Defeat it to retake its power and become whole. Each of us leaves an imprint of something when we die. A stain on the world. I don't know how much longer this kingdom can bear the weight of so many past lives. I don't think I've seen this shade yet in this game, have I? Have I died? I don't think so. I've gotten hit more times than I should have, but I don't remember dying. Okay. Oh. Sorry, I meant to talk to that NPC again. And did the NPC have a name? Or is it just Hunter? The Hunter, okay. With your web, you may have overcome a few creatures, but you are only just beginning. Don't delay. Descend into the belly of this world and hunt down the life you find. Okay, so I came from up there. There's soul. Oh, there was a hidden area down here. Grub. Hey, grubby. Little grubster. Oh, miss. Swing and a miss. Okay, moving along. Hornet! New journal entry. Obble. Fat, slow flying bug. Frequently discharges the acidic liquid stored in its round body. die if I'm not careful. Ooh. Some lore? Those who stray from the White King's roads shall face the law of Un. The law of Un. The White King. Who's the White King? And is that related to the White Palace? I do remember the White Palace in this game. I don't know how much it's worth hunting down these small enemies. They don't seem to drop much geo. Maybe I can make it to that bench before ending the episode. Wait, is this putrefied ducks? Oh, not quite. You're just a little fake guy. You're another false knight, if you will. Something tells me I'm doing this the wrong way. There we go. New journal entry. Moss Charger. Timid creature that frightens away intruders by covering itself in huge clumps of moss. Yeah, I am not timid enough to fall for that. So... some kind of something up there. What is up there? Oh-ho! Looks like it's time for a map marker. Now that's not on the map. Okay. Yep. Abuse it. You know, I bet there are those carnivorous plants around. Wait, this is a long vertical shaft. Oh, he did not explode. Huh. maybe there's a trick to having them not explode when they die. Curious. I did not mean to fall that far. Okay, well. Up, up. The map gave the impression there was going to be a straight shot to that bench, but did not have everything on it. Is there a stagway somewhere? That's what I'm wondering. I'm gonna go get these geocaches. Maybe I can't get up there. I have been looking out for those, believe it or not. They just lulled me into a slumber. They waited a long time before showing me one. The next one. Good job, Team Cherry. Okay, well, I can't see this map. And I think maybe to the right is actually a shortcut, huh? Or a way that loops back. I was distracted by something. I do appreciate just how detailed these games are, Team Cherry's games are. There are many different 2D layers that parallax. Like 1, 2... 1, 2, 3, 4... even more. Difficult to count them all. Oh no. Are you kidding me? I just kind of blindly stepped off there and didn't realize. Ugh, that's somewhat frustrating. Now I have to loop all the way back around. Well, now that I'm here, I think I'll go back to Dirtmouth and see if I can buy anything while I have the Geo. An air dash would be nice. Then I could maneuver through these areas much faster. Okay, almost there. Almost there. Alrighty. I'll rest at the bench. Let's check out Sly's shop before I end the episode. Hi, Sly. Another mask shard. It's a lot more expensive. Ooh. I think I might want these charms. Not sure. Actually, I'll just grab the mask shard. That way, I'm halfway to a new mask. Thanks, Sly. Okay, we'll call it an episode there. Thanks for watching, everyone. Hope you enjoyed that. I know I didn't make as much progress in Greenpath as I was hoping. I was hoping to at least get to that midway point bench, but that's just the way it goes sometimes. Next time, we'll head back to Greenpath and hopefully encounter a boss, maybe see Hornet, and some more exciting things. Till next time.